On the line right now is the former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. By the way, Newt, he's a busy man these days. He's got that show over on CNN, Crossfire, and then he's got this book called Breakout. By the way, you can meet Newt and Callista Friday at 4 p.m. at Politics and Prose, Saturday at 12 p.m. over at the Costco at Pentagon City. He's going to be signing books along with Callista, and she's going to be signing her book. But we wanted to
Newt's
talk.
got his own book called Breakout.
Breakout,
yeah.
I said that.
Oh, I missed that.
You were not paying attention.
Yeah, sorry.
You never do. Listen, Mr. Speaker, we want to talk to you about what the president, yesterday the president held a press conference. He said, I'm going to try to fix this problem. And, this is difficult. This is hard. I dropped the ball. But I think there was a moment where he sort of revealed what that press conference was really all about. Take a listen.
There is no doubt that our failure to roll out the ACA smoothly has put a burden on Democrats, whether they're running or not, because they stood up and supported this effort through thick and thin. And I feel deeply responsible for making it harder for them rather than easier for them to continue to promote the core values that I think led them to support this thing in the first place.
It took them a while to get it out, but it's really, isn't it, Mr. Speaker, about giving Democrats on Capitol Hill cover right now because they're about to abandon ship.
Well, I thought it was the most revealing press conference of his presidency. Not for that quote, but there were three other places where you had to kind of listen in total disbelief. And the newsletter, I do 2 newsletters a week at Gingrich Productions that go out for free electronically. And my newsletter today is going to be on these 3 things because they're so revealing. The first was when he said, gee, I never realized how complicated it was to buy health insurance.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's hard.
Now, this guy's 52 years old. Not only has he never gotten involved in buying health insurance, but he just had the arrogance to change the entire health insurance system of the United States when he doesn't have any idea what it's like to buy health insurance. I mean, contemplate the kind of willful ignorance it takes and the level of hubris and arrogance it takes to think that you can change a system for 315 million people that you've personally never been involved in. The second was when he said, I didn't realize how complicated it would be to buy health insurance online. Well, he's the guy who kept comparing it to Amazon and to eBay, to Kayak. Well, the fact is that means he didn't bring in all of his many friends from Silicon Valley and sit them down and say, gee, guys, if you wanted to set up a nationwide website that would have the following characteristics, including understanding everybody's income, measuring out their subsidies, giving them a range of choices, doing so by geographic region, and doing it with a high level of security so that they could put information in without it being hacked, how hard would that be? I mean, I think his friends in Silicon Valley would have said to him, you are talking about the most complicated rollout in history. And remember, they had 1 month longer than the Second World War for the United States to get this done. From the time we signed Obamacare to this week is 1 month longer than the period from the Japanese attacking us at Pearl Harbor to us having defeated Germany, Italy, and Japan. Now, it tells you, part of the point of my book, Breakout, it tells you that we have breakdown, which is the alternative, because our bureaucracies are now so incompetent that in the time frame it took to mobilize World War II, they couldn't get one website right.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It is.
Speaker Gingrich, yesterday we had Marco Rubio say that there is no fix to Obamacare. It's got to be repealed. John Boehner, Speaker of the House, man who sits in your office now, he said the same thing. There's no way to fix this. It's just got to be completely done away with. We start from scratch. That being said, Representative Upton will pass something in the House today that's basically mirrors what the president called for yesterday via executive order. In the Senate, they're going to be doing the same thing. First of all, we just had an insurance expert from Heritage come on and say that really doesn't fix anything. It's going to mess up the market even more than it already is. What should the Republicans do at this point? And also, secondarily, can the president just do this via executive order, or does he constitutionally need the people's house to pass it?
First of all, I don't believe he can do it by executive order. I think this is another example of his total arrogance. He is dictating to 50 states, to hundreds of insurance companies, to millions of people, based on what he himself said yesterday when he said, "I have an idea." Now, you don't want presidents of the United States making national policy on an idea. You want them to have it, thought it through, vetted it, criticized it, taken it apart, and then it's called a policy. Policies aren't ideas. We're back to the University of Chicago professor who wandered into class that morning and has an idea. Second, I don't think I would vote for the Upton legislation. I think it's the right direction to go in because we're in a mess.
Yeah.
And in order to get out of the mess, we're going to. I believe that we will repeal Obamacare one step at a time. We're not going to have a wholesale repeal while he's president. I don't want to sit around passively for 3 years allowing it to get totally screwed up. So the marriage penalty, for example, when people finally turn and pay attention to it, will be totally indefensible. The fact that we're worried right now about 5 million people losing their health insurance, Health and Human Services estimate was 93 million people will lose their health insurance next October. We have people now who can't go to the cancer center. There was a woman cited by Forbes who has cancer. She's been to the same place for 4 years in a row. She's surviving. This will now cut her off from going there. They're going to have to fix that. If you fix enough pieces of Obamacare, it disappears.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. I mean, it seems like what he was trying to do yesterday was saying, look, the last thing I want is for you to open up Obamacare and start that process.
Right,
so I'm trying to give you a fig leaf. I'm trying to give you Democrats some cover here so, you can stick by me. I don't get the sense that Democrats are going to stick by him.
Oh, I think for the short run they will. I gave a measurement the other day on Crossfire. I said, if 20 Democrats vote with Upton, it doesn't mean anything. If 40 votes with Upton, it begins to get interesting. If 80 votes with Upton, it begins to be a stampede. I think he may have done just well enough yesterday to keep it somewhere down between 20 and 40. I think in the Senate, if you watch, Senator Landrieu was very meek yesterday afternoon. I think Harry Reid had a sincere talk with her, and Reid runs a dictatorship in the Senate. And I think he'd indicated that her future would be bleak. So, I think, but on the other hand, they go home this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. So,
people at home are going to say to him, "Are you nuts?"
Speaker Gingrich, really quickly, you were there during Hillary Care and with Bill. You know Bill Clinton pretty well, I think, and you saw what he did, sort of undermining the president this week. Is he going to successfully be able to separate Hillary from this? We've only got about a minute here, but or is it fair to say that Hillary Clinton, considering the fact that during the 2008 campaign that she failed at, she actually ran on the individual mandate idea? Is it fair to say that Hillary Clinton is the grandmother of Obamacare?
I like that phrase, the grandmother of Obamacare.
You can use that.
I just can imagine how many different groups are now going to use that, and none of them will give you credit or pay you a royalty.
Yeah, that's the way it always works.
I actually, having watched Bill Clinton for a long time, I actually believe what you got was stream of consciousness telling the truth. Okay,
wow,
I think he was in an interview. He'd been watching this, and I think he thinks Obama's just a total amateur. And I think that he thought, how can you go around on at least 39 different occasions on videotape where Obama said, "I guarantee you will get to keep your policy"? Well, Clinton knows, having been through this with the public a lot. There are moments in life. Go back and look at. He went to the nation and he apologized. He said, "I did the wrong thing. I was totally wrong. I really apologize to all of you." The country said, "Fine, it's over." He left office with Reagan-level popularity.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got
to roll.
We got to leave it right there. Thanks a lot, Speaker Gingrich.
All right.
And by the way, Callista Newt will be signing books at Politics and Prose today at 4 p.m. and tomorrow at 12 p.m. out at Costco Pentagon.